Joe, it hasn't been a great week, but you know that I'm a glass half full guy.
Yeah.
So I turn to you and I go, give me something positive about this week.
I think we've pitched really well. We've had some great bullpen performances. I think Girardi has played extremely well, and Robbie's starting to heat up. So I think, things are going to turn for us.
All right, let's talk about the offense. It's got to be a little bit of a concern. Friday's game against the Angels, which you lost, you had 3 guys in your starting lineup that are hitting under 160. It's hard to score runs.
Well, one of them, though, hadn't had an at-bat yet, correct? Thomas Neal?
Yeah, I don't know if I counted him.
Yeah, so, we have that going for us. It is tough right now, and we're having a hard time scoring runs, but I believe these guys are much better hitters than what's went on, and I believe they're going to heat up, and things usually have a way of evening out. And if that's the case, then our guys are due to get hot.
All right, how do you keep your team from getting down? How do you keep yourself from getting down?
Well, I'm an optimistic guy, and that's who I am. And I know that the effort's there. So as long as the effort's there, it's hard for me to get upset or it's hard for me to get down on them because I see that they're trying. And they're working extra. They're doing a lot of things. They're in the cage with Kevin. And right now we're going through a tough time. We're not immune to it. Every club goes through it, and we got to find a way to get out of it.
I guess you could look at it this way, Joe, and this is a positive way to look at it. You guys played so well at the beginning that you gave yourself some wiggle room 4 times like this.
Yeah, because you're going to go through them. And we had a rough week, and then we had a great week, and now we're having another rough week, so hopefully we're going to heat up again.
Let's talk about some of the guys that are struggling. Travis Hafner, really, although in Oakland he hit a couple of balls really hard that were caught, but then he doesn't hit some balls that hard.
Right, but see, if the balls that you hit hard aren't caught, then we're not talking about Travis Hafner. And it's happened to some of our other guys. They drive the ball, and we're in ballparks where the ball doesn't carry so well. So sometimes those balls are outs. I think about the ball Nixie hit Friday to dead center. That's a home run in a lot of ballparks if you're not on the West Coast. So that is playing into it, and hopefully that will change.
All right, now Vernon Wells was one of the guys that helped carry you in April.
Yes.
And there was some thought that when you got him, he hasn't looked good the last couple of years, but then he looked great in April. He hasn't looked good in May and hasn't looked good in June. So what is the real Vernon?
Well, I think it's probably somewhere in between. Usually that's what you are. When you're playing bad, you're usually better than that. And when you're playing great, you're usually not quite as good as that. So you're always usually somewhere in between. But, he's had some good at-bats. He has. He's just missed some balls. He's hit some balls hard that are outs. I think Vernon still has it in him. I really do. And he's worked extremely hard, so it's got to change for him, too.
Joe, you concerned at all after the 18-inning loss in Oakland when Kevin Youkilis was hitless, and then before the game on Friday, you have to put him on the DL? Second time with his back. And this time, the thing that would concern me, because I have a bad back, he felt something in his toes and he felt something in his leg. That's usually not a good sign.
No, it isn't. Whenever you have pain down your leg, there's usually an issue, and I am concerned. Whenever it happens twice in a matter of 3 months, there has to be concern. And I think it's different if it's the first time it's happened and you're 25 years old. But he's not 25 anymore either, and he's had back problems in the past. So when it's reoccurring and it reoccurs fairly shortly, after you're supposedly healed, I am concerned.
Now let's talk about Thursday's game in Oakland. You had a chance to salvage the final game of a 3-game set. You scored early with the 2-run home run by Robinson Cano. That was in the first inning. Then you didn't score again, and you had so many opportunities. How tough was that game for you?
Well, I think that's probably the most frustrating part. If you don't have the opportunities, it's hard to get frustrated. But, at times we just needed a fly ball to the outfield. We just needed to put the ball in play, and we weren't able to do it. And that made it frustrating because Adam Warren just pitched his rear end off and probably deserved to win in that game. Kuroda pitched great, probably deserved to win in that game. We just weren't able to get it done.
Do you believe that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, Joe, because you're struggling, then when you do get up in a situation with runners on base, you kind of ground the bat into sawdust?
No, I think our guys have been through this enough that they understand that you can't do that. You just need to continue to relax, continue to prepare, do your work, and things will change.
It's a tough business. Adam Warren actually gets sent down because he was so good.
Right.
He almost became a non-available player for you for 3 days because he pitched 6 innings. Was it tough to say, by the way, kid, you're going down?
It really is tough because he's done everything we've asked. He's done a great job in his role, and because he pitched so well, like you said, we had to send him down because we wouldn't be able to use him until probably Monday or Tuesday. So we needed a long man. Our other guys were worked a lot, and they're short relievers, so we had to make a change. But he'll go down and pitch well and be back.
All right, now Andy Pettitte pitched on Friday, and since the game ended past midnight in New York. It was actually his 41st birthday when he left the mound. He actually pitched okay.
He did. He did pitch okay. You know, we did make some plays behind him, and I thought he threw the ball extremely well. He gave us 7 solid innings, and probably could have went out in the 8th if we didn't miss the fly ball in the infield, right. Which led to another run. And I just didn't want to push him too far, but I was happy with what he did.
What happened there?
It's brain cramp, I guess is probably the best way to say it. David, it's a play that David Adams will make 1,000 times, and he made the tough plays. That's the amazing thing. He made all the tough plays on Friday, but there was just a miscommunication. And he had a brain cramp.
You mentioned your pitching, and that really has been a high point for this team. Hughes, Kuroda, CC didn't pitch that great the last time out, but the 2 times before that, are you happy with the way your starters are pitching?
I am. I'm pleased. I mean, our pitching has been the backbone of our team. There's no doubt about it, and they continue to pitch well.
The bullpen has also been unbelievable. In that 18-inning game, they were great. Even when Mariano ended up losing the game for Preston Claiborne, it was 2 broken bats.
Yeah.
So it seems to me, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that this is a bullpen that every guy you call in is not a cross-your-fingers guy. You probably feel good about every single one.
I do. And you put them in a role that you know that they have a great chance to be successful. We do feel good about our bullpen. I mean, Preston Claiborne has thrown the ball. I think Java's thrown the ball well. I think David Robertson and Mo and Boone, and it just goes on and on and on. Sean Kelly has thrown the ball well. So, and Adam Warren was tremendous for us. So we are very pleased with our bullpen.